Okay, here's the an answer to question 74 in Top Hat. So first of all, I'm going to look and see what functional groups I have. I definitely have an alkyne with the triple bond. I have an alkoxy group here, and the alkoxy group has really no standing. I've got an alkene, a double bond group, so I've got a triple bond, a double bond, an OR group, and then I have a ketone. Actually, I have two ketones, which are C double bond O groups with carbons on either side. So this is a ketone, and this is a ketone. So I have to go to my chart to see who has the higher priority, and when I do that, I see that the ketone has the has a higher priority over double and triple bonds, and then it's so it's ketone, then double bond, then triple bond. So that's our priority: number 1 ketone, number 2 double bond, and number 3 triple bond. So what I have to do now is I've got to find the longest chain that contains at least the 2 ketones, and I'm going to try and get everything. Unfortunately, they drew a structure where all of the functional groups can be seen in the longest carbon chain. Now let's look at substituents first. I've got a methyl group, and I have this methoxy group. So I've got a methyl group and a methoxy group. Now, as far as the numbering goes, the numbering is set to favor the highest priority functional group. So in this case, that means it's set to favor the ketone. So I'm going to number from the end closest to the first ketone. So that means I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, so that the numbering scheme is a 2,5 diketone. Okay, and this is also going to be a hept then. So now what I'm going to do is now I'm going to go ahead and arrange my name. And so I'm going to start with substituents. So methoxy comes before methyl. So this is going to be a 4 methoxy, 3 methyl. Now that takes care of my 2 substituents. Now the longest chain is 7. So this is a hept. So it should be then methyl hept. Now, is it an alkene, alkyne, or alkane? Well, it is both an alkene and an alkyne. So if you remember correctly, in the naming scheme, these two when together are named as an ene. So that means the alkene comes first. Again, it's just one of those anomalies. So we're going to have a 3 ene 6 ine. And then what are the ketone? What are the 2 ketones at 2 and 5? First of all, it's going to be a 2,5, and then there's going to be a di. And then the question is, what is the suffix for a ketone? So we go back to our chart. It's ONE. And so if it's ONE, then I'm going to come back here and say it is now 2,5 dione. Okay. And I may not have the sequence here of numbering, but let's see what we have from Top Hat. So I do have the ene, then the ine, then the dione. So this would be the name of that molecule. It would be 4-methoxy, 3-methyl, hept, 3-ene, 6-ine, 2,5-dione would be the correct name of that. And that basically is either C or D. And then the question is, around the double bond, is it E or Z? And we haven't really talked about E or Z yet. So either C or answer C or D would be correct. So that's how we take apart that molecule in terms of its numbering scheme. And the thing to remember here is that when you have a double and a triple bond, it's an ene-ine.